Hello my country people, welcome back to the news. General Yakubu Gowon, who served as the Nigeria's head of state during the Nigeria-Biafra war, recently reflected on his pivotal role in preserving the unity of the nation. In an interview marking his 90th birthday, Gowon emphasized that his primary responsibility was to prevent the country from fracturing into separate entities, where he highlighted the intensive efforts made by his administration during the civil conflict which lasted from 1967 to 1970 to ensure that Nigeria remained intact. And Gowon recounted the intense 2.5-year struggle against the Biafran forces from eastern Nigeria, underscoring the importance of maintaining national sovereignty without external interference. And he noted that it was to keep foreign nations and powers out of Nigeria's internal crisis, contrasting it with the involvement of international forces in other conflicts, such as in Chicago, where Nigerian troops participated as part of the United Nations mission. The Civil War ultimately concluded with the commitment to reconciliation and rehabilitation, allowing for the reintegration of the affected region into the Nigeria's socio-economic and political framework. Reflecting on this period, Gowon shared his post-war directives to military personnel, urging them to the transition from combat to ambassadors of peace, where he instructed them to assist their fellow citizens in returning home, rebuilding their lives after the devastation of the war. Many courageous individuals from the Igbo community who had resided in the northern cities like Kaduna and Kano were able to reclaim their properties with the helps from friends and former neighbors. Gowon also pointed out that all Nigerians were given the opportunity to return to their preferred location after the conflict. He made a lot of statements where he noted that some certain retirements were implemented within military ranks to facilitate genuine reconciliation among diverse groups within the nation. So his message was directed towards the people of the southeastern Nigeria, where Gowon urged them to recognize that the Civil War is firmly in the past and that they were integral members of the unified Nigerian states. He firmly stated that the Republic of Biafra is no longer a reality and emphasized that acceptance and reintegration into Nigeria should be embraced, where he expressed a desire for unity rather than division, urging citizens not to dwell on past grievances but rather to focus on building a future together. Guys, the indigenous people of Biafra did not take this statement from Yakubu Gowon very lightly. They accused the former military head of state, Gowon, of masterminding the killings of millions of Igbo people during the 30 months Nigeria/Biafra Civil War, which lasted from 1967 to 1970. And Gowon's reflection kind of serves as a reminder of the complexity surrounding the national identity and the reconciliation in the post-war Nigeria. He also called for peace and unity in the country. So Gowon had made an interview to mark his 90th birthday, and then alluded that the Southeast should be blamed for the Civil War following their attempts to break out from Nigeria, saying that the Biafran agitators refused to buy their explanation, saying the former military, a lot of comments. But IPOB talked about Yakubu Gowon's speech, saying that Yakubu Gowon tried to hide the truth about the real cause of the war between Nigeria and IPOB, that he was laboring in vain to wash and launder his image, taunted by the atrocities he and his Nigerian soldiers committed against Biafra. That when Yakubu Gowon came back from Ghana and became sick because Ojukwu went to a meeting, presented a superior argument on regional government, and it was Yakubu Gowon's failure to implement this agreement for the confederation that caused the war. That he told the people that he was sick after a meeting at Aburi in Ghana and could not announce the agreement reached between Nigeria and Biafra about confederation or regional autonomy, or so that every region would govern itself and develop at its own pace. So they dismissed Gowon's comments and the interview he made. IPOB did not, buy the interview statement of Yakubu Gowon. So my country people, they slammed the former military head of state because he supervised the country's civil war, which led to the massacre of many Igbo people. They tagged Gowon as the originator and the cause of the unrest that claimed the lives of 3 million Biafrans. So my country people, what are your thoughts on Yakubu Gowon's statement? Because till date, Yakubu Gowon is still insisting that Nigeria must remain as one. Nigeria must remain as one. Nigeria must be united. Nigeria must not divide. But then IPOB is saying, as an elderly person, Gowon is expected to tell the whole world the entire truth about the outcome of the meeting he had and why he failed to implement the outcome of the meeting. At this age, Yakubu Gowon is still shying away from the truth. He's still playing a handy-picking game. He doesn't want to reveal the entire truth to Nigerians. So IPOB are still insisting that they wouldn't listen to what Yakubu Gowon has to say concerning the Biafran war. And Gowon has said at this point there is a need for Nigeria to promote unity. The cause for, secessionists, that's these agitators wanting to separate, must be resisted. That Biafra wouldn't stand. He's still insisting on that Biafra must not, take place in Nigeria. This country will not break apart. So my country people, this is a strong message from Yakubu Gowon to the Igbos concerning Biafra agitation and the quest for a Biafra nation. I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.